Alright, I wasn't planning on doing a video on this fan hub, but I took it apart and found out it's pretty cool and probably video worthy. So here's what we got. This is the little bracket that holds the whole assembly onto the front of the engine. This goes on the 59A Flathead, the rusty one. This next piece over here is the rotating assembly, which bolts to this piece that has the groove for the fan belt. This long piece in the middle is the shaft that it all rotates on. What I found so fascinating about it was that the way that it was made, it oils itself. So this piece right here, that's the front, and it has this cavity right here. This shaft goes down in there and sits just like that. This piece right here that looks like a backward number 9 stays in place because that's the shaft that goes in the bracket. The round piece rotates around it, and when it does, oil is forced up this little groove and around this circle and lubricates the front. That's the thrust surface. And then on the back side, same thing. Oil is forced up this little groove right here on the back. And then not only does it go around, but it also is forced up this spiral groove and lubricates the shaft inside the spindle. Now it doesn't end there. What's really cool about this is that when the oil gets to the end of the spindle, it's got these little 4 holes that you can see right there. If you take the spindle out, you can see that it also has a catch groove just inside. So by the time the oil is forced out the back of this, try to make it focus. It gets in that little groove, and then centrifugal force forces the oil out of the holes. Then when the oil squirts out the holes, it goes into this cone. And the cone is cone-shaped because the centrifugal force of this forces the oil back to the front, which is up here. Here's where it gets really cool. There's no seal in the back. There never was. It doesn't have a rear seal for the oil. The way this works is, it only holds 2 ounces of oil. What you do is you take this screw out right here when this pulley is at the 12 o'clock position, and you put about 2 ounces or a little more in there, and you leave the screw out. You rotate this around to where this is at the 6 o'clock position with the screw out. If you don't get any oil out of that hole, then you don't have enough oil in it. So you turn it back to 12 o'clock, put more oil in it, rotate it back to 6 o'clock, and whatever excess comes out on your rag, that little post right there is a little measuring device so that the oil is no lower than the top of that. That measures out 2 ounces of oil, and if you notice, it's also right at the bottom of the cone, so the oil level is never as high as that hole. Pretty ingenious. Then you flip it back over and put the screw back in, and you're done. A lot of people don't know about this, and a lot of cars were bought by people that didn't know about it, and they neglected it. The oil ran out, and then the shaft got super hot and either welded itself onto this spindle or broke, and then the fan came out and went through the radiator. So Pretty cool. I made a gasket for the front. When I get it all together, I'll show you how it works.